What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Wow! Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you receive a notification every time I drop a video and you can go and check the video out. For those who have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Leave a comment, leave a like on this video and the other videos. It helps with the algorithm. We are trying to grow the channel. I appreciate everyone's support. I had a feeling some people may not be happy with my last video. Seems like every video I'm doing now is under intense scrutiny. Everything is being scrutinized. Everything that I say is being scrutinized. And I figure, some people may not like it. I'm talking about an OG Hoover that, for one, is a bandit. It's like, that don't look good. Why you talking about the OG homies? You know what I'm saying? Why you putting the OG homie out there that's a bandit, even though I didn't say a name? And then he's, playing like this with a Southsider. And then, talking about the Southsiders used a weapon on him. It's like, why you talking about, they bust on a homie. Well, that's what happened. It's not my fault. This shit is what happened. It's not me. I'm not the bandit. Everybody's responsible for their own behavior. If you're going to be a bandit and have bandit tendencies, then, the consequences are what they are. I do not subscribe to that sort of bestial behavior, no matter who it's coming from. Let's get into it. As promised, I said I was going to bring you the story about the dude from Front Hood and the dude from Piru. They're in the Compton court tanks. This story is going to be pretty short, really, because I don't really know the ins and outs of why they got into it. Front Hood has his take on it. I don't know if his take is true or not, if it's authentic, or if he was just looking for a fight. Again, Front Hood was tall, rather slim, but you can say he's sort of strong with short hair, like waves. I forget his name. Someone asked me in the comments, man, you be describing people too much. Why are you always going into detail describing them? Well, dumb, in case the viewer, when I don't know the person's name, when I don't recall the person's name, which is often the time, some of these stories are old, then I describe the person to the viewer so that someone may say, oh yeah, the homie was in the county jail or the Centinela or High Desert at that time. He talking about such and such. They may know who I'm talking about. Damn, why do you think? That's why I describe them. At any rate, we go to the Compton courthouse and we're sitting there in the Compton court tanks. Now, truthfully, this was in 2010. So I cannot recall, I was going to say I cannot recall whether or not they had cameras in the court tanks at this time or not. But I believe the cameras were already there in 2010 inside of the court tanks, because there was a time when there were not cameras in CCB as well as Compton Court. As I said, when a war happened between the Hoovers and the neighborhoods in the Los Angeles County Jail, that's really when the cameras came to be, because there were so many stabbings inside of the court tanks, inside of the courthouse court tanks, that they had to end up putting cameras in there to try to catch these culprits. And at this time, cameras were indeed inside of the Compton court tanks. And we go inside of the Compton court tanks, and I had a case with my best friend at this time in 2010, a little Snoop Dogg case. And I'm in the county jail. I'm in the dorm at that time in 5600. And we sitting there in the Compton court tanks, and it's about 10 people inside of there, all blacks. The blacks are separated. We have our court tanks. The Southsiders have their court tanks. They do not mix up. So it's just all blacks in there. And it's a blood in there, a Damu. He has a little size on him, dark skin with braids. There's another, I come to find out, blood in there from Piru. Now the other blood, I don't remember where he's from. I don't know his name and none of that shit. But he was in the court. He was in the court tanks. There was some other Crips in there, and we all just sitting down. Now the dude from Piru had braids, was skinny, dark skin. I don't know his name. And he's sitting down. At this time, I don't know where he's from though, but I know Front Hood. And Front Hood is sitting down, and he keeps staring at the dude from Piru. He's looking at him, clear as day, staring him down. Everyone in the court tanks can see that he's staring at him. So can the dude from Piru. He's not crazy. He knows that this dude is staring at him. But since he's not acknowledging it, Front Hood gets up, walks closer to him, sits down virtually next to him, and stares at him. And he's still not, he won't look up. Piru, he looking around. He looked this way, he looked down. He won't look at him. So then Front Hood stood up and said, bro, you gonna keep acting like you don't know who I am? You shot at me on the street. And you gonna sit here and act like you don't know who the fuck I am? That's what he say. That's what Front Hood say. He told Piru that you shot at me on the street. You see I'm looking at you. I recognize you. I know you recognize me. We know each other from the street. And you're going to sit here and act like you don't know who I am. Man, we got a squad. That's what Front Hood tell him. Piru said, bro, I ain't shot at you on the street. I don't know who you are, you know. So I don't know if Front Hood was making this up, was saying this as a reason to squabble the dude, but maybe not. Because I don't know how he knew. Well, he could have known he was from Piru just by being in the county jail, whatever. But from the time we had walked in the court tanks, I didn't know where dude was from. So he had never said, had no reason to say his hood, to say I'm from Piru. So he never said that inside of the court tanks. So Front Hood, for him to know that he's from Piru, he knew him from somewhere. Again, it could have just been in the Los Angeles County Jail. You know who your opposition is and where they're at there in the Los Angeles County Jail, what module they're in for the most part, etc. Front Hood swears up and down that dude shot at him on the street, that they know one another. Piru says, man, I don't know you. I haven't shot at you. Front Hood said, man, we got a squabble. Piru tell him that he just had surgery, that he had a metal plate in his head. He said, man, I got a metal plate in my head. That's one thing, you know, because I can still squabble even with the metal plate. I be having my squabbles and shit, bro, but I just had surgery. Something had to do with his kidney or what have you. This is what he's saying. Now, he don't have a bag or whatever, and, you know, he don't look too weak, other than the fact that he's small, he's skinny in stature. So is Front Hood, but this dude is even smaller. You know, but he doesn't necessarily look scary. He's just saying, man, I got a metal plate in my head. It's all bets off for me after that, because, you know, anything can happen. We fighting. I hit you too hard. I don't know what can happen. You might pass away. You get a metal plate in your head. I don't know what that means exactly. It's not good. And I don't want no parts of that. But Front Hood, he was relentless. And not only that, the other blood that was in there, the Damu, said, nah, blood, you got to squabble. Blood, you got to squabble. This is what he told him. His homeboy told him that he had to fight. Like, nah, blood, first you was acting like you didn't know who he was. He's saying you shot at him on the street. First you trying not to look at him. He over here staring at you. Then he come sit next to you staring at you. That should have been enough for you right there. And then he had to confront you. Now you saying it wasn't you. Then he said, well, squabble up. Now you talking about the metal plate. Nah, blood, squabble up. That's what he tell him. So I don't know if this is true or not at the time, whether or not he has a metal plate. I'm just saying, man, if it's true, this can't be good. But he said, all right, man, all right, blood, I'll squabble up. I ain't know, like I said, I'll be having my squabbles, bro. I just had surgery. I ain't making no excuse. Front Hood, meanwhile, he pacing back and forth in the court tank while the other blood is talking to him, talking like, no, squabble up. He ain't rushed him or nothing. Front Hood ain't rushed him yet. You know, he let him talk him into the squabble or whatever, or telling him that he has to take the fade or what have you. So front hood, he walking back and forth. He ain't saying nothing, just pacing, like waiting to squabble. So dudes get up, Piru. This was in Compton court in 2010. Research it. And it was barbaric and sickening. Bothers me to this day. What I witnessed. He got up, Piru, and threw his hands up like a man. And front hood came charging in. And rushed him. Bam. And bro, he hit him in the forehead. He hit him in the face, this and that. Piru, he was too small, and he did seem weak. He probably did just have surgery. Certainly had a metal plate in his head, bro. You know, because he hit him in the forehead, bam, and his whole forehead. Piru's whole forehead pushed back. It was pushed in. His forehead was pushed all the way in. Like it wasn't, like he had a metal plate in his head. His shit was pushed all the way in. His face was out here. His forehead was pushed in. It was sickening to look at. I turned my head like, oh, fuck. I said, oh, my God. Oh, man. He can't see it. Piru can't see his own head. He probably can feel something ain't right. He got to, but he can't see it. But everybody else in the court tanks can see it. We all like, oh, fuck. Oh, hell. No one in there can really stomach it. We all turn our head like, oh, man, shit. Except for the other blood, the other Damu, he in there laughing. He laughing, oh, look at his head. Look at his head, blood. I'm like, man, nah, bro, that shit ain't funny. I spoke up. Now, this is not my business. Even though this is a very bad situation, you cannot get in other people's situations and other people's mixes right there in jail. Yes, this was bad. And I hated to see another brother injured like that, hurt like that. I hate the fact that they fought, that he didn't give him a pass once he told him that he was injured. Whether he had surgery or not, he just told you got a metal plate in his head. That's it for me. Like I said, I'm giving you a pass at that point. Whether you lying or not, I ain't taking a chance. We good. If you making that up because you want to get out of the squabble, then you don't want to squabble that bad. Then I ain't trying to squabble you then if you don't want to squabble. I'm only fighting those who want to fight. I don't give a fuck if they banging or not. I understand that. But still, if you don't want to fight, then I don't want to fight them. So if you're making something like that up, that means you do not want to fight. And if you're not making it up, then I do not want to fight. But the fact that, but still, I'm not a blood, bro. I'm not a Piru, and I'm not a Crip. So I'm not a Compton Crip. I can't get involved in that. I really can't. I'm not supposed to. Now in the module, I could. If I ran the module, if I got the module, I'm still not really supposed to, but I can say, nah, bro, that's it. Woo, this is my module. That's it. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go get my homies in the zone with y'all then, bro. I said that was it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But we in the court tanks. Don't nobody run this shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking court. Court tanks. So I'm not supposed to say anything. Nobody else said nothing except the blood that's over there laughing. But I told the blood, I said, man, that shit ain't funny, bro. He fucked up. I said, bro, that should be it right there, bro. That's it. The keys was coming anyway. We can hear the keys. So front hood, he mashed off and went and sat down like, like he hadn't done nothing. Piru sitting over there. And when the police opened the door, because they heard the rumbling, they heard the fighting, because when he hit him, he like went back, hit the back of his head against the wall, and his forehead smashed in, and he like this, telling him to hold up. He couldn't see it, but then he ended up feeling it. He ended up feeling his head. He knew something. He can feel it, bro. His shit was smashed in because he had a plate in his head. And the police come in, and they looking around. They like, what's going on? They heard the rumbling. Everybody looking down. Cause they end up getting you for a fight, and you ain't even had a fight if they don't know who did it. But as I said, the cameras were in there. at that time. I couldn't remember at the beginning of this story, but the cameras were there because the police ended up coming, taking both of them out. At first, they didn't though, but they left the door open and stood there, didn't leave anyone alone while they went and looked at the camera to see what was going on, because they didn't believe that nothing had happened. They didn't look at the camera before they came, but once they came and checked the scene, now Piru, he like turning away from the police so that they don't see his injuries. But eventually, the police came back and told him to grab him, and they told you, look at me, come this way, walk this way. And when he turned around, the police turned their head down like, oh my God, it was sickening to see. He was like maimed. His face was mangled, bro, because of that plate in his head. It's sick. I didn't even want to tell the story. It makes me want to cry. I'm serious. The shit fucks with me. Because like I said, I'd have gave him a pass. Period. And I told the Damu there wasn't nothing funny about that shit. Even though I'm not supposed to get involved. It's whatever. It's whatever, bro. We can squabble up. Me and you. Because I don't find a motherfucking thing funny. You feel me? Period. I don't give a fuck. I squabble with any of you motherfuckers up in here. You got a problem with what I'm saying? Straight up. I made that statement. I made that announcement. Because that shit was sickening to me. Like I said, I'd have gave him a pass. And come to find out, he wasn't lying about this plate in his head. And probably wasn't lying about having just had a surgery. Because he didn't stand a chance in the fight. He didn't get off a swing. Front hood rushed him. That was it, bro. Dinged him up, and then bam, hit him in the forehead and shit pushed back. It was it. Fight was over. So he did have a metal plate in his fucking head. And it wasn't nothing funny. Had the police take him out, took both of them out. We sitting there, and I'm sitting down, and Damu looking at me. He like, man, I wasn't, I know it wasn't funny, bro, but it's just that he was trying to, you game banging, you up in here, you can't be hiding. You see dude trying to stare at you, bro. I'm like, yeah, but you ain't have to encourage the fight, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? He said he was fucked up. It might be a time when I just had surgery. And I come in and motherfucker want to squabble me down. I just had surgery and shit. I ain't got no win. How? I can probably barely eat, barely get out of the bed, whatever. Got to come to court. So he was still in court, yeah. But it's not like he was in a day room chilling or on a yard or something and talking about he just had surgery. He was in a place he had to be. Because then you can question it. But, he probably did just have surgery and was ailing. He doesn't have a chance. At that point, you got to give him a pass. That's just the way it's supposed to go. The same way you give up, you don't harm a child or a lady. It's the same way with someone with a disability. That's what happened, man. That's what happened in the Compton court things, bro. For sure. Front hood hit him, smashed his whole fucking face in, smashed his whole forehead in, smashed it back. Smashed his forehead back like it had a dent, a big ass dent pushed back like a dent, bro. The dude looked fucked up in the face, like you wouldn't have recognized him. Hopefully they did something, just, pushed it back out or whatever, but shit, I don't know what the fuck happened. And I didn't, whoever that other blood was, I didn't respect him, bro. I felt like, he was worried about maybe Front Hood was going to tell him he was next. So he kissing his ass and shit, laughing and, man, you got to take the fade. Man, you take the fade for your homeboy. He injured. You take the fade. If my homeboy up in there and he like, man, I got a metal plate in my head and I just had surgery, and dude like, man, we got to squabble. I'm going to tell him, no, I'm going to squabble you. I'm about to squabble you. The homie ain't finna squabble you. He just told you his head fucked up. And he just had surgery. Ain't nothing wrong with me, though. I got his fade. I got his fade, bro. I'm going to squabble you. On my mama, I'm going to squabble you. You ain't finna touch the homie. And he fucked up. And if he insists, no, bro, I don't want to squabble you, I'm squabbling him. He the one shot at me. He the one this, that, and the other. Then bam, I'm going to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, because you ain't finna touch the homie. He got a metal plate in his head. He just told you he can't squabble. I'm going to squabble you. You ain't want that squabble? Then here you go then. You're going to get it anyway. That's how it's supposed to go. This fucking story pissed me off. Fuck. I'll be back. In the meantime, stay free and stay loyal to your home, to your people. And stay free, people.